Greetings, Horizon. I have chosen for my Advent devotional Matthew 26, 36 through 46. And this is the verse where Jesus prays and agonizes in the Garden of Gethsemane on the Mount of Olives. And to give some context, as you might remember, this is where Jesus had just finished up his Last Supper with his disciples. He predicts Peter's betrayal, and all of his disciples say that they would never betray him. 36 says, "Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, 'Sit here while I go over there and pray.' He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, 'My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and watch with me.' Going a little farther, he fell to his face to the ground and prayed, 'My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will.' Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. 'Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?' He asked Peter, 'Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.' He went away a second time and prayed, 'My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken unless I drink of it, may your will be done.' When he came back, he again found them sleeping, because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away and prayed again the same prayer for the third time. Then he returned to the disciples and said, 'Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come. The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayers.'" This is probably the most heart-wrenching text of the whole Bible to me. Because Jesus was fully God, he was aware of all that would happen to him. And because he was fully man, he felt fear and all human emotions. He knew he would experience extreme physical pain, separation from the Father, and death from sins of the world. The part that wrecks me is that in his agony and in so many words, he asks his Father, "Is there another way? Please, Daddy, I'm scared." He was so terrified that he went back and he prayed the same prayer 3 times. I can't imagine the anguish of the Father as he had to say, "No, son, there is no other way." And Jesus again in so many words says, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it because I trust your will." And in all his extreme fear and trembling, he was still able to obey the Father and surrender his life. And to add to his agony, Jesus' friends had already betrayed him by sleeping and not keeping guard. He grieved for his friends because he knew that under great pressure they would deny him. And so I wonder if I could be strong enough not to deny Jesus under extreme pressure. I know the feeling I have when I'm disconnected from God because of my sin. I cannot imagine the feeling of disconnect that Jesus had from the Father when he took on all past and future sins of the world. This separation can only be described as unbearable. In my loneliest moments, I can't imagine that anything would come close to the loneliness that Jesus felt in that moment. There was no escape, and there was no one that could understand the gravity of the situation that he was facing. This passage reminds me of the humanness of Jesus. It reminds me that nothing I will ever face will come close to the suffering that he experienced. And somehow, this strengthens me to know that he understands. It's like how we find comfort in those that have experienced the same losses that we have. Jesus has experienced all of our losses and more. He listed it all out of his love for the Father, and out of the Father's love for the world. Bless you all with grace and peace.